Hi, happy holidays, everyone. My name's Dena Adams. I live in Colorado, USA, and I just want to share a few things with you that hopefully will inspire you this holiday season. I am currently an author, a writer, a speaker, a life coach, and I focus on self discovery um, to help empower entrepreneurs to improve their life in every area, not just their business. I know a lot of us spend a lot of time on personal development, which is amazing. We spend a lot of time on business development, which is fantastic, but we don't spend any time on self discovery. And actually, that's the first step to personal development, and we all tend to miss it. And the reason I love that is because I like helping people learn what's inside of them that they didn't even know was there. It's like a hidden gem within yourself. And I love helping people discover that because it kind of awakens this piece of you that you didn't even know you had. And it's the piece that dictates your reactions. It's definitely triggered by your subconscious. We make a lot of choices. We have so much of our life is formed around the things that we don't know about ourselves. And so I love that personal development takes you from where you are now to where you want to go. And I love that business development takes you from where your business is to where you want to go. But I also believe that there's a very important piece that we are missing because we all get stuck, right? We all tend to get stuck sometimes on the journey. And so I'm going to share a little bit about that with you and my journey and why this is so important to me. So I'm a mom. We have me and my husband together. It's a his, mine, and ours. We have 5 kids, ages 16 to 24. And it's been quite an interesting journey. It's been very challenging. I have faced many mental health issues in my past, and I just wanted to be better for my family. So, being an entrepreneur, I've been in network marketing for 15 plus years. I have owned my own accounting company and did books for businesses in Colorado. I did that out of my house and I loved it. And one day, I just felt this stirring in my heart, and God was telling me it's time to shut it down. And I kind of freaked out. I was like, my company's making money. I'm in the black. I'm 3 years in, and it's amazing. I have this great opportunity to grow if I want to. You want me to shut it down and write? Really? I've been trying to write a book for 20 years and it hasn't worked, right? He was like, yeah, it's time to shut it down. And so I talked to my husband about it. And he says, well, if that's the way God's leading you, do it. So the next 6 months I spent, finishing out the year for my clients, helping them get connected with new experts in the industry to make sure they had everything that they needed. So the transition was smooth. And then about 5 months into the next year, we got in a car wreck. So I had been writing a little bit, not doing a whole lot, focusing really on my network marketing company because I was in that fear mode of we need money. I can't not be making money. And so I was doing well in that and ranking up and making a little bit of money, which was kind of nice. And then we got in this car wreck and my entire life stopped. We got rear-ended and I went headfirst into the dashboard, and our entire world kind of got flipped and turned upside down. My husband got laid off, and so we pulled everything we had, retirement, savings, everything, so we could continue the lifestyle we had created for the entire summer for him to stay home. And the lifestyle we had created was not an inexpensive lifestyle. And so it was really challenging because he had to take care of me. My kids had to take care of me as I was working on healing from the brain trauma, the eye issues, the physical pain, the chronic pain illness that I already had flared astronomically. And I told my husband, I can't just sit here and do nothing. And he's like, what did God tell you to do? He told you to write. So he stopped you from doing everything else. Now all you can do is write. So I wrote my first book. I ended up getting an author coach about 6 months later just to help me with some of the particulars because at that point I didn't know how to do it anymore. When you have brain trauma, it kind of restructures your brain a little bit. So things you could do, you can no longer do. Things you couldn't do, now you can do. It was just really strange. And so I got an author coach to help me with this process. And by April of the next year, I was able to launch my book on Amazon. I self-published and it hit #1 bestseller in like 12 hours, which was amazing. I did not market it to keep it there, but it was really cool to hit that. It was really awesome. But then what? Right? Now what am I going to do with this life that God's guided me to write? I wrote the book. Now what do I do? And God really put on my heart to speak and to teach. And so I got my certification in life coaching. I'm working on my master's certification right now. And I had to decide, like, in that space, what's God calling me to do? I didn't know, right? I had no idea what his vision was for my life. And so that's kind of how I got started with where I am now. And so I just want to encourage you to find someone in this process that inspires you. That was really important for me in my healing, is to make sure I felt inspired. I believe that motivation comes from within. Inspiration is an external thing. People can inspire you, but motivation is that drive that awakens inside of you that pushes you to actually do something. So for me, God inspires me constantly. I, I'm really passionate about my faith. So the love of my family and my desire to be better for Christ drives my motivation to seek God and be inspired by His Word every day. And so I want to share with you one of my favorite quotes from someone else that I want to share one of my favorite quotes with you that really inspires me and my confidence. It says, I was always looking outside myself for strength and confidence, but it comes from within. It's there all the time. That's from Anna Freud. And what inspires me about that is God says He is within us and His truth lives within us as well. So all of our strength and confidence is already inside of us. We just have to seek it. And I think that's where seeking your inner truth and doing the self-discovery process and defeating your past issues and overcoming all of that to where it no longer controls your reactions in your current life is a way to let go of caring about the rest of the world's opinions and judgments on you. It's been very freeing for me, to say the least. I did want to share one of my favorite scriptures as well. It is Philippians 1:6. He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. And the reason I love that quote is because we feel like it's all us. I'm it, right? But God says, no, I'm with you and I'm guiding you and I'm giving you this direction, but you're not listening because you're pulling away and you're listening to the world. And so I work really hard to shift away from, I guess, so to speak, the contamination of the world and listen to the purity of God's word and who He says I am and what He says I can do and what His vision and purpose is for my life, instead of letting it be driven by worldly sayings, worldly beliefs that may not resonate with my faith and my foundation. And so something that's really important to me is having a daily routine. I know that when I don't have one, my life feels topsy-turvy and kind of crazy. And so in the morning when I wake up, I grab my phone. I do not have any social media on my phone. I actually took it all off about 2 months ago and it's been a godsend. I grab my phone and I pull up Spotify and I listen to my worship music. Some days it's one song because that's all I have time for. And other days I can sit there for a half an hour and just worship and spend time in his presence. And it really fuels me. I don't wake up with the, oh gosh, it's Monday, or oh goodness, it's this. Like I'm right in the middle of a massive fibromyalgia flare, along with an intense tension migraine. Um, but instead of feeling sorry for myself about it, okay, what can I do to help myself? And now, what can I be grateful for? And what can my life look like if I change my thought process? And so I may be down and not able to do a lot of things when it gets really bad, but at the same time, my mind can keep being positive. I don't have to let that change it. Um, so after I worship in the morning, if I'm working on a devotional or a Bible study, I will pull that up, open it up, pull it up on my Bible app, grab my Bible, um, and I'll go through that. And then right now, you can probably hear my dogs upstairs barking. And then right now, I'm going through reading the biographies of all the women of the Bible. And so I do that every day. And that just really sets the tone for um, my day, how I live my life, and what I focus on. And so it's really cool. And then I come into my office and I get going with my day. Some days it's working on volunteer stuff that I do for my kids' high school. Other days it's running errands like I had to do this morning before I even got in here. But I really work to make sure that I fit my business into my life, not the other way around, because it's part of my life. But it doesn't have to be all consuming of my life. And that's just really important to me. And then I make sure that we have some time in the evening. We make dinner, we sit, chat, watch a TV show or two, sometimes three, depending on what we feel like doing. And we just kind of enjoy our time together. And that's our day. As far as, okay, we're coming into 2019, right? So I don't know what goals you have this year, but I really hope that they're very intentional with your purpose. And so for me, my goals this year are all focused on serving God. So making sure that being a volunteer coordinator for the high school, making sure I'm serving them in the way that I'm supposed to, being intentional about how I'm serving my family, being intentional about how I'm serving God, how I'm serving my followers. I've really detached from social media lately, and so I'm getting ready to jump back into that. Starting a YouTube channel and starting a podcast and jumping into my blog, and I don't know what I'm going to do on Facebook or Instagram. I'm on Pinterest, but I really took a step back from all of that to really figure out where I'm going. And so now here I am. I'm going to kind of launch into everything all at once, which is a little scary. But I know if I don't do it, I'm going to keep putting it off. And that's what I've been doing. And so, know that those moments are okay. And it's great to take a step back and not be everywhere all the time. If it's impacting your life in a negative way, reevaluate and do something that helps you figure out the direction you need to go. And I like to say simple is better. So go back to the last thing you were guided to do by God, if that's your faith, and focus there and just build from it. And that's kind of what I did, is I took a step back as I was getting ready for 2019, and I felt like all of my goals and visions were based on a worldly need and desire, and they weren't focused from my faith. So I took a step back, and now here we are, December 2018. I am in my 40s. I'm getting ready to have a birthday. I love December. It's my birthday. It's Christmas. It's New Year's. It's snow, and it just makes me so happy. So that is a little about me, and I hope that it inspires someone. I have so much of my story that I know little different pieces resonate with different people, but life is hard, but there is a way to have peace within the midst of the storm, as long as you're solid on your foundation. And self-discovery is what gives you, is where you build the foundation. It's not in personal development or in business development. It's in self-discovery that you build that solid foundation that you live your life from. And so I encourage all of you to learn a little bit more about yourself and dive into that in this coming year and see how it transitions in your life for the better. So I want to thank you for watching today. I'd love to connect with you more. You can find me over at www.denaadams.com, and it is D as in David, E, N as in Nancy, A, Adams. Um, People spell my name all kinds of ways, so I just thought I'd make sure you have that right. That is where my blog is going to be, my podcast. Um, there will be links to my YouTube channel from there. On Facebook, you can find me at facebook.com/the Dena Adams. That is my business page. And on Instagram and Pinterest, it is Dena S. Adams. So I look forward to connecting with all of you. I wish you all the best in this coming year. And I pray that you have many blessings and fabulous experiences in the year to come. Bye.